Hi everyone, Luke here from Weekend Tour Pros, and today we're going to be reviewing these, the TaylorMade P790 Irons. Let's get down to the hitting bay and I can tell you how they look, how they feel and how they perform on Trackman. I'll even give you a little comparison against my current irons, the Titleist T200. Let's have a little look, shall we? So my first impressions picking up the club for the first time is it's a really nice looking golf club. Feels like, just based on the back design, that it's got that kind of blade type of feel about it, like this little kind of shiny bit in the middle as well. But actually when you do sort of put it down on the ground, it has got that real thick top line that inspires a lot of confidence, so it feels very game improvement-y. This is obviously a 7-iron, but you can't see kind of the chunkiness sticking out the back, but it does feel like it inspires a lot of confidence at the ball. Like I say, really excited to hit this based on sort of friends that have got earlier models. But yeah, loving how it looks. Definitely something that appeals to my eye. I'm not sure if I like how chunky the top line is, but maybe that's just because I'm used to something that's been a bit thinner. But I'm sure if the performance is good, I'll definitely change my mind on that. So let's hit a few with this and compare it to the set that I hit earlier, and we'll go from there. So you'll see that I am hitting a big pull at the moment, so when we look at the data on the screen. But first shot, 159 yard carry, further than anything I hit with my own T200, 174 total, spinning at 4,300. And again, we'll have a look at that number as well, because I'm used to seeing my 7-iron with a Pro V1 spin a little bit more than that, so be interesting to see. Hit that really thin, and that's where the forgiveness of this club may help. Let's see what's happened. 141 yards, 158 total, actually lower than anything I hit with my own club, so incredibly thin shot, but it did still get out there. Again, another pull draw, 147 yards on the carry, 162. Spin rate has jumped up there though to 4,767. I've hit that really well. The launch is lovely on it. So one of the things TaylorMade talk about with this club is that it's supposed to be really easy to launch in the air, and it certainly feels like that after the first couple of good ones that I've hit. That one, 153 yards through the air. Spin has gone up as well there, 5133. Much better. Again, I just need to learn to start this down the left. 159 yards again, flown through the air, 173 total, 4.5 on the spin. Again, I'm much closer to where I'd expect to be, around that sort of 4.7 mark. Ball speed 112 mile an hour. It's good, and I like it. Interestingly, that kind of chunky top line that I talked about right in the introduction, as soon as you start seeing the ball fly and it starts to go well, you soon forget about that chunky top line. Actually, it's inspiring confidence for me as the mid-handicap golfer. There we go, that's the best shot I've hit all day so far. What a golf shot that is. You're going to see that come right up, 161 yard carry with a 7. 4876 on the spin. That is good. Wow. Wow, what a golf club so far. For those of you that have watched my TaylorMade Stealth review, which if you haven't seen it yet, I'll put a kind of link to it up there. After a few shots of hitting that club, I was majorly impressed. And actually, I think I said in the video that I might have to come back and get the guys to do a proper fitting and dial me in with it. I'm starting to feel the same with this iron already, which is a little bit worrying because my bank balance could be hit. But I've really been a fan of TaylorMade clubs for the last couple of years without actually ever putting any in my bag. That's the reason I wanted to test them and do these videos first, and absolutely loving it. Massive pull draw. I am aiming them down the left and pulling them down the right, but what a strike again for a pull. 158 yards, 4.7 on the spin. I am loving hitting this golf club. Desperate to start it down the target line. I've hit it a bit thin, but actually I've got away with it. Still got 144 yards there. So I wonder if that's the forgiveness of the club. The spin's jumped up because of the thin 5195. Again, a little bit thin, but it doesn't look it. The ball flight wouldn't make you think that I'd hit that as bad as it felt like I hit it. It's still gone 151 yards through the air. Still span at 4,600, wow. God, I can thin these and I can still hit some averagely good shots for me. This is good. This is good. Just can't get my start direction going at the moment, but again, final one to finish with. Another great strike, albeit I'm just obviously pulling everything a bit down the right, which must be something to do with my alignment and the fact that I am naturally hitting a bit of a closed club face at the moment. But even that last one, 145.5, 160 total, 4.156, and not the best strike in the world. Really good numbers. I think, you know, you're seeing here as me as a mid-handicapper currently playing off around 12. I'd still get a lot of benefit out of using these. Actually, I think the good shots I'm hitting with these are better than the good shots I'm seeing with my own clubs at the moment. And I think that's just due to that extra bit of forgiveness, that extra bit of help. Okay, so I've done hitting shots there. I think I've hit a batch of about 10 or 12 shots that we can keep into the data set. What I'm going to do now is go home. We'll then look at the two data sets against each other. We'll talk through the numbers, see what we're seeing against it, and then we can kind of wrap up with my concluding thoughts. But in terms of first impressions, how I'm feeling as I'm in the bay at the moment, if I was going to get fit for a 7-iron, I would definitely be hitting these. I love them, I really do. I think, you know, at the moment I'm obviously struggling with my swing a little bit in the bay and struggling with my alignment, but the club is doing everything I need. It feels like it's launching high. Again, that's just a feel. We'll look at the data in a bit. It feels like it's going far. You know, the good shots are actually going further than my own golf club is at the moment. So that's really, really appealing. And the spin numbers from some of the ones I'm just looking at as I go on the good strikes, it seems to be sufficient as well. So really, really impressed with this golf club. Really excited to go home, look at the numbers and see what it looks like, and we can compare that feel versus the real. Okay, so I've just got home and I've had a chance to go through the Trackman data in a little bit more detail, and I've popped on screen for you a comparison of the P790 numbers in the blue section against my current gamer, the Titleist T200, which is in the red section underneath. Now I hit the batch of shots with the T200 just before I filmed the batch of shots that you've seen me hit in this video with the P790, so they were almost side by side. Now hopefully what you can see is that the P790 has performed really, really well and actually outperformed my current iron just slightly in all of the areas. The club head speed is up, the ball speed is up, both slightly. That's equated to a slightly higher carry number. The spin is up there for a little bit more. I've got a slightly better launch angle, slightly higher peak height, and I've got a little bit more stopping power on the green because that land angle coming in is a little bit steeper, meaning I've just got a bit more chance of holding it on there. Now, looking at the second row of data, the plus and minus numbers indicating the consistency, I think you can see that my current T200 is a little bit more consistent, but I think that's because we've got quite a small data set here, and I think if you gave me another 20 or 30 shots with both of these irons, I'd probably get very, very similar consistency numbers. So overall, really, really impressed with these irons and really pleased that the feels that I had in the bay are backed up with the real data. So hopefully you can see from the numbers there that the TaylorMade P790 irons performed absolutely magnificently across the mark there and actually outperformed my current iron, the T200, on that set of data. So if I was in the market for testing new irons at the moment, they'd definitely be on my list. I definitely think you should have them on your list too. Now let me know in the comments below if you hit these irons, what you thought to them, or if you're going to add them to your testing list. And if you liked the video, please do consider giving it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing to the channel. Thanks very much for watching. Goodbye.